How to animate in Minecraft. For example, this door that has this cool opening animation, or this dance floor that changes colors constantly. These are just some examples. You can also make stuff like hot air balloons, aeroplanes, bridges that are automatically built, windmills, boats, or anything else you want moving in your Minecraft world. It's possible. Let's start with the door, and then I'll show you how to do the looping structures, as it is a little bit more complicated, but it's still really easy. So first of all, you want to go into chat and type /give add s structure_block. You then want to build each of the different frames for your animation in your Minecraft world. So for example, as you can see, this is the door fully closed, this is it slightly open, and then this is open it a little bit more, and then this one here is open more, so basically almost fully open, and the final one is just fully open. Now each of these are saved as a structure in structure blocks. So you want to place down a structure block, and we're going to use this one as an example. You then want to go inside of your structure block, and you want to set the coordinates so that it only has a structure that you want to actually use. So as you can see, for example, this one right here has these right coordinates, and then you want to set a name. So name it whatever yours is, and then 1. So in this case, I'm doing door 1 for the first one right here with the right coordinates, and then simply hit the save button. Then if we go to this one right here, as you can see, it's door 2, it's the right coordinates of door 2, and it has door 2 saved as door 2, so save that, and then do the same for all of these as well. Now the final one, it has nothing in the door, but it's still saved as a structure. As you can see, it's door 5, and that is it saved. So you can have as many different stages as you want, or as many different builds. The more gradual you go, the better the animation may look, depending on what you're doing. And then you need to give yourself a command block by typing /give add s command_block. Now you want to place down a command block, set it to impulse and to needs redstone, and this is the command right here. So it's simply /structure load, and then your structure name, so in this case door 1, and then the coordinates of where you want to load it to. So in this case I loaded it over here, but you can obviously load it to a different location in your Minecraft world. You just need to put your coordinates instead of mine, so your coordinates will be different, and if you're using a different structure name, your structure name will also be different. The next command blocks are all chain, and it's basically just the same thing, structure load, but then it has a number. So number 2, for example, for the second one, and then you can also add a tick delay if you want to. So for example, this is 20 ticks of a delay just to make it a little bit slower, but you can change it to whatever tick delay you do want if you want to be slower. 20 ticks equals 1 second in your Minecraft world, so obviously you can have it as delayed as you want or as fast as you want, depending on the build that you do want it to be. And then it's the same for all of these other command blocks. I'm not going to show you all of them, but let's go to the 5th one for this example. As you can see, this is also set to a chain command block. It's also set to always active, and then this is the command right here. It just says door 5 instead of just door 1 or door 2 or whatever the other doors are. Now if you're doing a structure that requires more movement, you can also do that. It might be a little bit more complicated because you'll have to show it moving, and you have to destroy blocks in the first frames and add the blocks in the second frames, but it is possible for stuff like hot air balloons, airplanes, or anything you want. Just using the same method, you just have to build the structure and change the blocks in the different frames for whatever you do want. Now for builds that loop, you want to do the same thing. So this is saved as disco 1, for example, and then there's disco 2 all the way up to disco 8 for all of the different designs. Put the right coordinates, make sure you have the right coordinates, and then make sure you just have the build that you are using. In this case, we're doing carpet, but you can obviously again do whatever you do want to for your build, but this is just a disco floor. So I've got disco 1, all of the different discos as well. And then you need to go into chat, and you need to type a few commands in the chat. So you need a scoreboard for this. Don't worry, it is really simple for you to set up. So this is the first command right here. Type this into chat. So /scoreboard objectives, add, and then disco, and then dummy. And then the second command block right here, you want to put as this. And again, you can do this one in chat. I just got it in a command block to be able to show you it easily. But it's scoreboard players set, and then world disco 0. And make sure you have the same capitalization throughout all of these structure commands, otherwise it won't work. So you can either have it as a capital or not capital. Just make sure you have it consistent throughout everything. So then you want a repeat command block. You want this to be set to always active, and this is the command right here. So this command is just execute if score world disco. You can obviously customize disco for what you want when you're creating the score, but make sure you use whatever you just set it to. So if yours isn't disco, set it to whatever yours is, and then matches 1 ... run scoreboard players remove world disco 1. All the rest of the command blocks are chain and unconditional. So the second command right here is again an execute command, and it's execute if score world disco matches 0 run scoreboard players set world disco 901. Now you can have a different number for this depending on what you have for your commands. So in this case, I'm making mine change every 100 scoreboard points, but if you want yours to be different, you can set the number different there as your maximum of what you wanted to get to. Hopefully it makes sense in a second. I'm just going to run through these commands, and then hopefully by then you will understand once you have actually seen how this works. So for the third command block right here, it's execute if score world disco matches 900 run structure, load, and then disco 1, and then the coordinates of where you want your disco 1 or whatever you're building to be. And then the second one is the same thing again, but it's just simply for 800, and it will load in the disco 2. And this is basically the same for all of these different commands as well, but they're all different numbers for the scoreboard. So I'm just going to go to the last one here as an example. So this is the command block right here, and it's the same thing again, but it's set to if it matches 100, then it loads in structure 8. So there's 8 of these different command blocks, starting at 901 and going all the way down to 0, and then resetting back at 901. So the first structure loads in at 900, then 800, 700, 600, 500, 400, 300, 200, and 100, and then it resets back down to 0, and then when it hits 0, it resets back to the start. So you can customize what you want your times to be depending on what you want your commands to be. If you want it to be quicker, for example, you can have the numbers less. In this case, it goes down in the hundreds and activates structures, but you can do it whatever number you do want. You can do it higher than that, or you can do it lower than that to make this faster or slower. So 100 scoreboard points is when this does change right now in this example. If you do need any help with this or have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. And if you need to know how to use structure blocks in Minecraft so you can save your structures into structure blocks, check out the video on screen.